legendary Sphinx pistol, made in Switzerland. In fact, this firearm company has been in business since 1876. They're very well known in the competitive circles for being a really high-end competition pistol, based a lot on the CZ design. And this is their SDP Compact version, which before, each of the pistols that Sphinx made were hand-fitted by master gunsmiths, similar to a Rolex watch, and the price reflected that. With the advent of the SDP, or the service duty pistol, they have taken in some processes that make this more affordable. In fact, about half the price of the standard Model 2000 and the Sphinx 3000. But the quality and the tolerances and the tightness on this pistol are really phenomenal. But before we get into all the specs, I want to take a look at some of the things you get. For one thing, you get two 15-round magazines, and this is their compact model. The full size does have two 17-round magazines. You get three interchangeable grip panels, magazine loader, a cleaning kit, and a detailed owner's manual in a hard plastic case. Now we're going to go ahead and safety check the pistol. Now my first experience with the Sphinx Firearm Company was at the Lucky Gunner blogger shoot a couple of years ago up in Knoxville, Tennessee. And Kriss Firearms, who is importing the Sphinx pistol, was there with the Kriss Vector and the Super V, and they were showing the original Sphinx Model 2000 and 3000 pistols.
Remember the gun? No, I've never used it. Never used it. You could be a rifleman. Let's start with a short magazine. Yeah.
The quality and the workmanship that went into those pistols was just incredible. Now obviously this is a CZ inspired pistol, and I'm a huge CZ fan. I love the way it feels in your hand, high quality. I love the internal slide rails, which we're going to take another look at that in just a minute. But being Swiss made, the craftsmanship behind these is exceptional. And the fit and the finish on this, since I've had this for about 2 weeks and shot it a number of times, and actually after this review I'm going to be shooting it some more. But immediately the first thing that I realized was the grip itself is really ergonomic. And a lot of that has to do with the interchangeable back straps. But also the really high beaver tail right here really allows you to get your hand way up onto the pistol. Also, which is just as important and is often overlooked, is this area right in here. Being able to get your fingers way up onto the pistol. And this gets your bore axis down pretty low. And you can see the slide to bore axis here is really exceptional and what you're looking for in a pistol. It's going to help with felt recoil, which obviously will help with accuracy. And the slide fits into the frame, which is your original CZ design. And one of the reasons why I really love the CZ. And one of the things about that is that you're going to have a complete rail that runs all the way down the frame. Most of your polymer pistols, or most of your modern pistols now, have just inserts. And while those inserts are strong and they obviously are working fine for a lot of the polymer companies, being a full rail design really helps with accuracy, and it keeps your tolerances really tight. Now at 10 yards, we put 5 shots into this target. And it was just incredible, the accuracy of the pistol. Unfortunately, we had the camera set up and we weren't recording when these shots were actually fired. But I'm going to tell you, the accuracy on these pistols is just phenomenal. These are only offered at this time in 9mm, and it is a double single action design. And what that means is you pull the trigger back. It's a very smooth trigger. It is 10 pounds. But it's a very smooth, solid trigger and a great little crisp snap. Single action is with the hammer in the rear position, and of course that makes a lot quicker trigger. Bring it back, just a little bit of take up, no grit. Nice clean snap at about 3 pounds. Now as far as reset, very quick. You're going to get follow-up shots really quickly. Now the trigger itself is their competition trigger, and that's why it's so smooth, and because they've had so much experience with competitive shooters all throughout Europe, they designed the trigger to be really good for their service pistol. It has an extreme curve in the trigger, and this really helps with control. It gives you a little more leverage on the trigger. The trigger guard is squared off with serrations on the front. You have the 1913 Picatinny rail with 4 slots, and this gives you a lot of options for accessories, whether it's flashlights or lasers. The serrations on the slide are front and rear, and I really like that feature because one of the things about the CZ design is that it's low in the frame, so you really need to be able to get a grip on your serrations, and the serrations are ample and really good. The slide is a steel slide. It has a Tyane coating, which is a titanium aluminum nitride coating. And this is used in cutting tools. This part of the lower frame is aluminum alloy with a really high anodized finish. And then from the trigger guard and the grip down is polymer. So you have steel, aluminum, polymer. And then the grip itself, right here, the back strap, is a rubberized coating over polymer. I love the way that CZs feel in the hand. Just the way it fits. If you've ever held a CZ, you'll understand that it's just one of the most ergonomic pistols. But one of the things about this grip is it moves it from the traditional CZ feel to an M&P feel, like the Smith & Wesson M&P. And this grip is kind of like the best of both worlds. It gives you the great CZ profile here, and yet it has the feel of a Smith & Wesson M&P, which to me is one of the most ergonomic pistols out there. With the rubberized back strap, the front of the grip is polymer, and you even have slight finger grooves here to be able to get a really good grip on the pistol. With polymer on the front strap and then the rubberized coating on the back strap, this is a really well thought out design. The recoil is so manageable, and a lot of that has to do with getting your bore axis, your hand really high on the pistol, getting the slide really close to the hand with this beaver tail, and right here below the trigger guard, getting your finger up, and then the rubberized insert. Then you have your polymer finger grooves. So it really just kind of comes together, and it really feels great in the hand. Now to remove the back strap, there's a little pin that holds it in. Just remove that pin. You can pull it right off, and then add whichever grip that you desire, and then just replace the pin. The barrel is 3.7 inches. It does have a hammer drop safety, and it's ambidextrous. Here is your slide lock or slide release. You have an interchangeable mag release, and you do get 2 15-round magazines. Quick in and out of the pistol. Now the standard sights on here, it's a ramp right here, and then you have a front blade, which is steel. So you're going to have metal sights instead of polymer sights, which a lot of pistols are coming out with. It has kind of a U shape at the back and then a front dot at the front. There is Defiance night sights that they offer, which have not only a tritium front post, but also an integral fiber optic sight. Now with the pistol in fired position, the hammer is going to be flush with the frame, and this is a no snag hammer. But once the gun's been decocked, you have a little bit of the nub hanging out, and you have serrations. So this can be shot single action if it's in the decock mode. Because of the aluminum upper and the polymer lower frame, the pistol weighs 27.5 ounces. It does have a round indicator. I'm going to put a dummy round in here for you to be able to see it. And then right through this little slot, you can see that the gun is loaded. Now, Sphinx pistols are being used in Denmark, Norway, Malaysia, and Singapore in many of the Special Forces units. The guards at the Swiss nuclear plants carry these as their sidearm. Now, disassembly of the pistol is like most of your CZ designs. Right here you have these 2 notches, and this is pretty typical for CZ designs. Just bring those 2 to where they match. Over here you have your takedown pin, just push it through. And it does kind of throw the slide lock out of the way. And then just bring your slide forward. It has a captured recoil guide rod. Now the barrel is very similar to the Browning design with the lockup, but one of the things that Sphinx does is when it locks up to the top here, it locks into the slide. And that's a little more like the SIG design. Everything about the pistol, interior out, the pistol is just well finished inside and out, as you can see. Also, one thing to note is here is the removal of the polymer underneath. You have pins here, here, and I'm sure back in here to secure the polymer part to the aluminum. The serial number is marked right here in the slide, and it's indicated by kind of a green color all the way across. But everything is really machined well, smooth. One thing I did notice was a little discoloration right here, and I think that has to do with firing the pistol. I have shot this quite a bit already, but I haven't cleaned it, and it's still in really good shape. Of course, to reassemble, just reverse order. Now here you'll really notice the slide rails all the way down on both sides, and they mate into the frame itself, which has rails all the way down. Put it on the slide, bring your 2 points together, way to go. Now the Sphinx Model 2000 and Model 3000, as I've said before, were actually put together by master gunsmiths, fitted. Everything was just like a custom-made gun. And that's the reason why they were used on the competition circuits in Europe. But bringing this pistol together, the fit and the finish is still excellent. Now those earlier guns, they could run up to $3,000 a piece. With the Sphinx, this retails MSRP for $1,350. which seems pretty extravagant. And of course, at local gun shops, you'll be able to purchase this for less. And this is something that if you really want a very high quality, well-fitted pistol, something that you can out of the box shoot competitively, then the SBD Sphinx is an excellent choice. Now I want to thank the guys at Sphinx Systems for sending this pistol for me to do the review. And if you ever get a chance to check out one of these, this is a beautiful, well-finished pistol. Be strong. Be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. If you ever get a chance, I highly recommend the SBD Sphinx. And if you ever get a chance, I highly recommend the Sphinx SDP. What is it? It's the. And if you ever get a chance, I recommend trying out the Sphinx SDP. And I highly recommend, if you ever get a chance to shoot one of these, that you're going to love it. So be careful. I don't know why I said be careful. Okay, let me do it again.
Be careful.
Be careful out there.